Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Morgan Boglin. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for Boys and Girls Clubs of the Gulf Coast. We're super excited today. We have a really special guest, and we're back with our 2019 State Youth of the Year, Jalea Snare, who is always a fan favorite. We've been doing these virtual conferences and virtual programming, throughout this time. We had Elements of a Scholar Athlete. We've had Smart Girls, trying to encourage young people during this time to stay motivated and inspired and just offer whatever we can to them. So now we're going to kind of move into a college and career series where we'll be bringing local community colleges, universities in the state of Mississippi, and some of their experts, and they're going to give us some information on steps you need to take to move forward and how to be successful with them. So at this time, I'm going to pass it over to Miss Jalea.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Gulf Coast Education and Career Series. BGCGC is committed to developing globally competitive graduates and equipping young people with resources they need to be successful in 21st century careers. Our programs, such as Career Launch, Money Matters, Junior Staff, Power Hour, and Summer Brain Game, are tailored to meet the needs of children and teens in today's world. Our club members have a cumulative 3.0 GPA, and 100% of club members graduate on time with a post-secondary plan. During this series, we will be bringing you experts in the field of education and career opportunity. Whether it is college, trade school, military, or something else, we want you to know there are options available for what best fits you. My name is Jalea Snare, and I'm the 2019 Mississippi State Youth of the Year. I'm 17 years old. I'll be a senior this year, and I attend the IP Center at North Bay Boys and Girls Club. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing a very special guest. Ms. Delana Harris is the Dean of Enrollment at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. At MGCCC, she oversees the college's recruitment and enrollment efforts. Delana and her team are responsible for collecting and analyzing local, state, and national data that will impact enrollment and implementing strategies for success. Prior to working at MGCCC, Delana was the Director of Marketing and Communications at Pearl River Community College and the Director of Recruitment and Engagement. During her time at PRCC, she was able to create a successful enrollment strategy plan that led to the college experiencing 4 years of consecutive growth. Under her leadership in recruitment, PRCC earned the title of fastest growing two-year institution in the state. Delana earned her undergraduate degree in marketing and merchandising from the University of Southern Mississippi and her master's from William Carey University. Delana plans to begin a doctoral program this fall, and she proudly boasts that she is a first-generation college student from a low-income family and was raised by a single mother. Delana believes in the power of an education and knows firsthand how it can change and transform lives. Delana and her husband Jared reside in Wiggins, Mississippi, and together they have 2 sons, Cooper, who's 10, and Grant, who's 7. Welcome, Delana.
Thank you. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for that warm welcome, Julia. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. We're excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
So when is a good time to begin applying for MGCCC?
That is a great question. So I know that this seems maybe a little odd, and when we're talking about a timing and a timeline for college admissions, it really begins in terms of the admissions process a full year out. So, Julia, I heard you say that you are going to be a senior this coming year. That's exciting time. And so really, your time to start the admissions process will start in September, early September, September 1, as a matter of fact. And so we will open that application here at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, September 1. And for seniors, that will be graduating in May 2021. Okay, and that will stay very consistent through through the next year. So for example, if you're a junior, going into your junior year next year, and you're going to be a May 2022 graduate, that even kind of sounds funny to say, that September 1 will open up the following year for you. So that is a very consistent date that we try to stick with here at Gulf Coast. And so when we open up the application September 1 for fall 2021, that is when we encourage students to fill out that application as soon as possible. Now, one of the greatest things that I think we do here at Gulf Coast is that there is no application fee for admissions. So that is a wonderful opportunity for students. And this is what I tell students. We understand that at that point in your senior year, you may still be shopping and discovering what colleges or universities are going to be the best fit for you. And that's okay. We understand that. But what we tell students, go ahead and apply. There's no application fee. Let us start providing you with lots of information about scholarship opportunities. It's best to go ahead and have that application in. That way we can send you information about housing. We can send you updates about scholarship deadlines, or maybe a deadline's been extended. Maybe the requirements for a scholarship have been changed. So we can continue to sending you very personalized messages once we have your application in our system. And we've seen data that supports that the earlier the application is in, the more information that we can provide for that student and really tailor the experience that they have. So a full year out is really when it starts. So for seniors right now, the application, if you're a current senior that's graduating in May 2020, the application is up still for fall 2020. So if you're wanting to go ahead and enroll at Gulf Coast, there's plenty of time to do that still. We have orientation sessions going on this summer. We even still have summer classes, Jalea, that are available right now that will begin at the end of June. And will continue to run through July. So there's still some opportunities, but for those juniors that are going to be graduating, like I said, in May 2021, you will begin that process in September with us.
So get it in early. That's what I'm
Yes, absolutely. I think National College Application Month is October, and that's great. We see a lot of students applying in October, and that's wonderful. But the sooner the better. It just allows us to really, like I said, send personalized communication messages to you.
And that's what it's all about, figuring out where you're going to go and how you're going to get there.
That's right. That's right.
So for the students who obviously aren't seniors this year, is it possible for them to enroll in courses at MGCCC while they're still in high school?
Absolutely. So we have a couple of options here. So there's dual credit, there is dual enrollment, and there's actually something that is very special and unique here to Gulf Coast called Collegiate Academy. So with dual credit courses, and this is all on our website too as well, if you type in the keyword dual enrollment or dual credit, you can kind of see some of the options there. So with dual credit classes, those are course offerings at your high school, okay? And they are $100 per course if it's an academic course, and $125 per course if it's a career technical course. This is an amazing opportunity to get college credit right there, for a very, very, very inexpensive cost. Dual enrollment students, these are students that are going to be enrolled in college coursework as well. Now they will be billed at the same rate as all of our Gulf Coast students. Wonderful way to kind of test the waters, go ahead and get some college credit. These are things that I highly encourage students that are ready to take that next step, to go ahead and earn some college credit. These are wonderful programs. Collegiate Academy, like I said, is pretty special and remarkable because when you are a Collegiate Academy student, it starts your junior year in high school and ends your senior year in high school. And at the time that you will graduate high school, you will also graduate with an associate's degree. So you're going to be completing 2 degrees really in those 2 years. So that's another wonderful opportunity. Now, this is what I tell students. It all has to be tailored really for what you want, okay, and what is best for the student. I tell students all the time, you really do have to map out the best pathway for you. You can't say, oh, well, my brother or my sister was able to do this, or my friend was able to do this. This has to be something with all your college decisions. It really has to be something that is what's going to be the best pathway for you. So I tell students sometimes taking those dual credit classes or get involved in dual enrollment and being able to take a few classes here and there is the best way to figure out okay, I want to take it very slow, step by step, learn what it's like to be in a college setting, a college environment, and see what the coursework is like. Plus, it's a great way to get ahead on college credit as well.
For sure. I know like you said, it's definitely based on your personal journey. I was not in the Collegiate Academy program, but I did take dual credit classes last year. So they weren't too hard, but they definitely make sure that they keep you on schedule and everything with having to turn in things online instead of paper. So definitely, I think those are also good options.
Absolutely. And you brought up a great point. That is something that I think that really helps students transition or make that transition from the high school setting to the collegiate setting. And so even if you are going to a university, these are great ways. We obviously would love to have you at Gulf Coast, but this is a great way to really transition students from being in the high school environment to being in the college environment, and kind of seeing what the expectations with even online assignments or whatever it's going to be. There's all these kind of myths surrounding college sometimes, that attendance doesn't matter. It does. That, that you're not going to have assignments. We do, so there's a lot of different little things that students hear from time to time. And so this is a great way to build in that transition period as well.
Definitely. So now that we know how to apply for college, how important is it for students' ACT score and high school GPA as it's concerned to applying for college?
Yeah, so it is important. I will tell you that. We encourage students to take the ACT multiple times. I tell students that really, I was never a great test taker. Still to this day, I'm not a great test taker. I get really nervous. And as soon as you tell me something is timed,
Me too.
I get super nervous. So we tell students that you need to take it more than once, okay? And, a lot of times either that sophomore year or the junior year is a great time to take it. Now, I know all juniors are required to take the ACT, so that really is a good time to take it. But even if you're happy with your score, you need to take it again. It could mean different scholarship opportunities for you, or different programs that you could be, have access to, with getting a higher score. If you're trying to get into a particular program, they may be looking at your ACT. So it is important. In terms of college admissions here, we do have an open admissions policy. And what we do here with our ACT is we're going to help prepare you for academic coursework. So no matter where you're at on the ACT, we can, if you come in with us and, you're going to be admitted to the college, okay, regardless, and then we want to work to prepare you for those next steps. So we may recommend certain courses that you can take that's going to help you be a better student, and it's going to lead to long-term success in college. And that's really what it's all about. We want you to be successful. We want to see you, be successful, whether that's earning your 2-year degree with us and going straight into the workforce. And I think I'll get into that in a second, or coming to us, staying here 2 years, earning your degree, and then transferring to a university. Whatever your career goals are, we want to see you successful. We want to put you on a pathway to success. And so we have that, like I said, that open admissions policy, but we're just going to try to help prepare you for those next steps. Now that was kind of talking about the ACT. GPA, super important. Okay. I'll be honest, I was a teacher for 9 years. And while I was in the classroom, loved my time in the classroom, and GPA in a lot of ways is determines a student's success a lot of times better than the ACT does. And, so GPA is really important. It tells us a lot about the student. Keeping your GPA while at Gulf Coast is super important because it opens up a lot of opportunities, transfer scholarships. If you are looking to go on to a university, you can get involved in this organization called Phi Theta Kappa, PTK for short, and earn tremendous scholarship opportunities from transferring to Gulf Coast to a university of your choice. And when I say tremendous scholarship opportunities, I mean like full tuition, scholarship opportunities for just being a PTK member. So GPA is really important, not just while you're in high school as you're transitioning to college, but also when you get here to college. That's going to really help you, like I said, get those transfer scholarships, earn some opportunities to be involved in different things here with our honors programs and various organizations. So that's really important. So it's a combination of both. Honestly, it really is. And we have resources here in place through our Learning Resource Centers, our LRCs, that are designed to help students, once again, aid in their success. Tutoring, free to students. It's a service that we provide here. Rooms that you can rent out, that if you need a private study room, if you're like me and you get distracted easily and you need that peace and quiet, you can, have that room to yourself. Computer, if you didn't, I was raised in kind of in the country, so the internet was not always reliable. So being able to have a resource center that has computers and different things, so that's really important. And those are some of the things that we provide here at Gulf Coast.
That's great. That's definitely great for if you don't have something, then you can go and get it at the campus. I think I've been to the campus once when I had to register to get my ID card for dual credit classes. And I saw the little lab area and everything in the library. So there's definitely plenty of resources there.
Yeah.
Another question, are there any programs for young people who may not be interested in traditional schooling, like trade school programs like welding or cosmetology?
Absolutely. So we have over 60 career technical programs here at Gulf Coast. So, and I want to kind of explain. So career tech, like I said, variety of programs, but really the driving force behind career tech, and sometimes you hear it referred to as CTE, career technical education. Really the driving force is we want to educate you and train you, and then we want to get you out into the workforce. We want you to have a job and be able to provide for your family. And so that's the goal there. So with all of our programs, they're very much tied to the workforce demand. So what, our industry and our area is demanding. Obviously, if Jackson County, we have a lot of students that end up working for Ingalls, a great career. The medical industry right now, think of all the nursing, physical therapy assistant program we just started on the Perkinston campus. So, all of those careers are not necessarily require a 4-year, degree, a bachelor's degree. There are some wonderful career technical programs, welding, there's instrumentation, automotive. My goodness, we live here in South Mississippi. It's like, I think 110% humidity outside. I'm so thankful for those people who work in HVAC, the heating and air conditioning, industries, that they keep all of our, units serviced and everything. Great, wonderful career opportunities. Cosmetology, medical lab, radiology. I could go on and on. There's so many things. And like I said, the design behind those are not just to provide you with a 2-year degree, but to provide you with an opportunity to get to earn a great living and have a career right here in South Mississippi. Culinary arts. That's another wonderful program that we have at our Jefferson Davis campus. And so all of our campuses and centers are really unique in what we provide. But as a college overall, like I said, we provide over 60 different opportunities. And those are all on our website under our pathways. And those are, like I said, excellent, wonderful opportunities that students can pursue. I can't say enough great things about those.
Definitely. I mean, it's great to have different options if you are more into one field than another, especially trying to get into the workforce. So now that we talked a little bit about the classes, what about extracurricular activities?
Yeah, so those really relate to one another well. And, I heard this, a friend of mine said this one time, that it really should not, and I totally agree, that it really should not be referred to as extracurricular, because they are part of the curriculum of your experience. While you're in high school, you had extracurriculars, and then now, in college, But part of the curriculum and kind of built-in experience of college is networking, meeting people, getting involved, building your resume. Jalea, I could talk a whole nother 30-minute segment on building the resume and starting that from a very young age. Really, what you're doing in college is so important, because when you get out of college, you know, you're 21, 22 years old, you're not going to have a lot of work experience necessarily. So getting involved in those student organizations and, you know, or things that really are going to show work ethic and character, and that's going to be things that employers look at. And, you know, your involvement in clubs, organizations, things, that's going to be huge. So we offer a ton of different things in terms of clubs and organizations. If you know, and here's the great thing about Gulf Coast, we're all about opportunity. So if you are a student here at Gulf Coast and you say, hey, I really want to start, I want to get involved, and I want to have, I don't see a club where I fit in, so I want to start my own. There's a process for that too. So you can, you know, start something, but just about for every major, we have one for nursing, criminal justice majors. We have theater groups, choral groups. We have fine arts groups. We have something, you know, called Reflections. That's kind of our leaders and our ambassadors on campus. Jalea, you would be great at something like that. You know,
I know, that sounds interesting.
Yes, absolutely. So these students represent our campus at different events. They go out, and you know, they're, like I said, they're our ambassadors. That comes with a scholarship opportunity. So there's just a number of different ways that you can get involved. And I will say this. You know, I've been in education for about 15 years now, and I tell students this all the time. Obviously, I love Gulf Coast. I want students to be a part of the Gulf Coast family, but regardless of where you decide to spend your next 2 or 4 years, it's going to be about you making the most of that experience. So if you just go to class, or if you log into your classes and you really don't try to network and meet people and get involved, then you're probably not going to have this experience that you just, you know, remember for years and years and just love and cherish. It really is about what you make of it, regardless of where you go. And so I encourage students all the time, you know, don't just do it for the resume building. That is a great, you know, part of it, but really, you know, get out there and you know, meet people and get involved, and you're going to build your experience and you're going to love it even more. And so I think that's a really key component. And what we find is students that are involved, they don't miss class. They're more likely to complete that. You know, it's that involvement that kind of holds them accountable for things. So I think that is a must for every student, to find one place where they can really get involved with.
It sounds like MGCCC is really like personal with their students and programs and opportunities that they have throughout the program. As like you said, extracurricular, but also the trade school programs. But the big thing that everybody usually is concerned about in college is money. So what are some options that students can have as concerns with financial aid or some scholarships? I know you talked about scholarships a little bit already, but elaborate a little bit for me, please.
Yeah, absolutely. And I totally understand. You know, I think you mentioned in my bio earlier, you know, I was raised from a low income family. I was a first generation college student, the first person in my family to go to college, raised most of my life by a single mom. And so I understand that the financial aspect of college is really important for a lot of different reasons. But I can relate to that well. And so one of the things I'm super proud of is working at Gulf Coast. This institution is always trying to be proactive and always trying to really look at what's going to be best for our students. Our tuition is already, if you just look at the tuition, $1,550, so affordable compared to other institutions and even other community colleges. If you look at that, we try to remain affordable and keep that bottom line as affordable as possible, because we want to have education that can be pursued by all. And then when I talk about with scholarships, Now, this kind of goes back, ACT scholarships, we offer those based off your ACT, we offer academic excellence scholarships. And when we were talking earlier about the planning part of it, that piece really is going to start a little bit earlier. You know, we talked about the admissions side of things with the application opening September 1st, but really the scholarship piece starts much earlier than that, because this is what I tell students. Go out there and look at the ACT scholarships and, you know, and see where where you want to line up. Okay. And as you're taking the ACT, you can kind of see, okay, if I just get one more point, if I score 1 point higher, then will be eligible for this scholarship. So then it gives you kind of a goal to work towards. So we do give scholarships based off of ACT. The cool thing about those, you don't have to apply for them. I mean, that as you, Jalea, go into your senior year, you will know, you will be like, oh, application after application and paper after paper. But the academic excellence scholarships here at Gulf Coast are automatically applied to your account once you send us in a qualifying ACT score. So you don't have to worry about those. The other set of, yeah, so that's good. The other set of scholarships we have are for our career technical students. So if you completed a 2-year program in high school, now some high schools call this vocational education, some high schools call it career and technical education, but if you completed a 2-year program at your high school and you want to come to Gulf Coast, we will give you a half tuition scholarship if you have a 3.0 GPA to a 3.4 GPA, and a full tuition scholarship if you have a 3.5 or higher GPA, if you completed those 2-year programs. And you no longer have to be pursuing a career technical pathway to earn that. If you are wanting to, let's say that you did HOSA in high school and you did the Allied Health coursework and you completed that 2-year program in high school, and now you want to come to Gulf Coast and you want to pursue engineering, okay, you can still use your career and technical scholarship. It's called the New Century Skills Scholarship, and it's on our website. You can use that to pay for that curriculum to go towards engineering. So that was something that we did. The ACT, your academic excellence, and your career technical, they do not stack, but it gives students a great option that either I can go by ACT, or I can use my GPA and get involved in high school career technical courses and use that and see what's going to be the best option for me.
That sounds great, because I did the career and technical classes, 2-year-long class. I just finished it this year because I started my sophomore year. So
good.
I definitely have to look into that. I didn't know that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a wonderful opportunity. And I am a big fan of career and technical education at the high school level as well as the post-secondary level here at Gulf Coast, because I think it teaches students, it teaches you something that you really like and can pursue a major from, or something you really don't like and you don't want to pursue a major. And that's just as beneficial to find out, like, okay, I really don't want to go into this. Exactly. And so I think that those are great programs.
And you said to start applying for those before you start applying for the college, like the scholarships?
So no, you're gonna apply for those your senior year after you apply for admission. But in terms of planning, those are gonna start much earlier. And so I say really your junior year, because if you're not involved in career technical classes like you, Jalea, you were very fortunate. You got involved in 10th grade and finished that program your 11th grade year. But if you haven't, and if you have juniors that are listening to this and you haven't started career technical courses, then you could do it your junior and senior year and be eligible for that scholarship. So it takes a little bit more of a planning in advance. But I always tell students a really great opportunity if you're going to do that. And we have other scholarships as well. So we have, I love getting to talk about our foundation scholarships. I call these kind of, the circle here that we want to create. So we want students to come here, have such a great time that they graduate, they go on to have great careers, and then they give us money in the form of scholarships to give to future students. And that is exactly what has happened. And we have this great foundation that operates, and we get donations from individuals and companies and industries that believe in what Gulf Coast is doing. They believe in what we are trying to provide our students. And they say, hey, we want to give back in the form of a scholarship. And it is a tremendous opportunity for our students. These scholarships can be combined with ACT. They can be combined with those new century skills. They can be combined with other scholarships that a student is receiving. And so it really can help fill and provide that gap between federal aid, state aid, and other scholarships to help pay for college. And so super important. It's one of my favorite ones. I tell all students, we want you to go on, be successful. And we want you to remember your experience here at Gulf Coast, that you want to give back to a student one day that was just like you.
Yes, you have to keep the good going. Keep the good going.
Yes, absolutely. Keep that good circle going. Yes, absolutely.
So I know you think that it's really good for a community college to be a good stepping stone for young people. Can you just like give another elaboration on as to why?
Yeah. So I think that community colleges are a great stepping stone for many reasons. And, you know, here's what I go back to what I said earlier about it really has to be your pathway. It has to be what is going to be best for you. I will never, you know, ever, when I'm out in the recruiting industry and out talking to high school students and even parents, if a student is getting a great scholarship to go to a university, congratulations, that is wonderful. But I also tell students and parents to think about other factors. That's a great opportunity. And if they are ready, that's awesome. So I really say to think about three things. Is it academically the best decision for you as a student? Do you feel academically prepared to go to, you know, or would it be better to be in a smaller class setting? Most of our class settings are going to be about 17 students, 17 to 1 student instructor ratio. So that's a really small classroom. And with that, you know, obviously we get to know our students pretty well. Our advisement model just shifted recently, and it's a more of a personalized, tailored advisement system, which is great. So academically, you know, I always tell students and parents, think about that. Is your student prepared? And a lot of people say, yeah, I feel prepared to go on. Great, congratulations. Financially, is it the best decision for you? You know, you may be receiving a great scholarship. And a lot of times we hear students say, well, I'm receiving this big scholarship, but think about that scholarship being spread out over 4 years sometimes versus 2. So you gotta, you know, and sometimes, yes, the answer is still yes, that's still the best decision for me financially and academically. And I say, congratulations, you know, that's great. And then the last one is sometimes take some self-reflection. And it's, am I socially ready for this setting? And when I say that, I tell students sometimes, you know, think about it, you know, are you comfortable being away from home so many miles? Are you comfortable living on your own? Are you comfortable? Are you independent enough to make your own appointments, to do all of the things like, you know, if your air conditioning does break down in your apartment, you know, are you comfortable enough to pick up the phone and try to figure out to call someone or, you know, and get that repaired, you know, and are you socially okay with being away? And so a lot of students say yes, and I say, congratulations, you're going to have a wonderful time. You know, that's great. But sometimes, and Julia, I was the student, I was a community college student. I needed the stepping stone. I did. It was the best decision I ever made to transition from high school into a community college setting. It was a small setting. The instructors knew me, you know, and it was the best decision I ever made. I made friends. It was a great environment. It allowed me to kind of be my home away from home, I guess, you know, if you want to think of it that way. A small enough environment where I could be comfortable, but a large enough environment to where I could meet new people and kind of, you know, have this different experience. And so it was that I tell people all the time, it really is a great academic stepping stone for a lot of students. It's a great financial stepping stone for a lot of students. And I can't emphasize enough the wonderful transfer scholarships that we give to our students through programs like Phi Theta Kappa. It's tremendous. It really is. So that's a great opportunity. And then socially, is it right for you? we want you to be happy. We really do. We want the college experience should be an exciting thing. And, we want you to be excited to be here. And so we always tell students to really think about that as well. And that's just kind of me coming from my teaching background, a little advising background, but I tell students to think about those things, that sometimes it's not just the financial aspect of it or side of it. You got to kind of think of the other things around it as well.
I think those are really good pieces of advice. 3 great things to look at, just trying to figure out what you're going to do after high school. Because I know in school, you go to school. I think I was talking about this to one of my family members the other day, but you go to school for all your life, and then you get to the end of school and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do now? Like, how am I supposed to go about this? So that definitely is a good way of trying to figure it out.
Absolutely. And, for years, I will say it, there was this stigma around community college. And I will say, I don't feel like that there's that stigma as much anymore. Community colleges in Mississippi, we have the #1 community college system in the nation right here in Mississippi. Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College is the best around. And so, we really provide a lot of great opportunities, and some of our brightest leaders right here in Mississippi, and some of the best, greatest entrepreneurs and doctors, lawyers, teachers, everyone that's leading our state and really leading our nation received an education from a community college. And so I think it's a great stepping stone. And I tell students, at least consider it. At least consider, Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. Get that application in, and let us tell you why we make a great decision, why we're a great decision to consider.
Exactly. You always have to consider the factors before you just jump into something.
That's right.
So I think my last question is, and I'm not sure if you'll have much information on this, but what are the plans for MGCCC as far as the COVID-19 precautions? I know everybody's in quarantine, and I know you did say that the campus is not open to the public yet. So is there any new information?
Yeah, so we are planning, Julia, to come back this fall. We are planning to be back in the traditional setting for fall 2020 courses. Our courses this summer are online. Just like any other business, we're following those CDC guidelines, and we will take every precaution. Our student safety is the most important thing for us here at Gulf Coast. And we want to balance that really with the experience that we can provide students. And so all of those things are being taken into consideration. And right now, like I said, we're excited. We're ready to see students. We're so ready to get to see our students. As an educator, and I know all of my co-workers here at Gulf Coast, you guys are the reason why we do what we do. You're the reason why we get up every morning. We try to create these experiences, and we try to create these opportunities for students. So we're so ready to see you guys. And but we're excited, we really are. But like I said, we will be following the CDC guidelines and trying to make that balance between what's going to be best for our students in terms of safety, precautions, and different things, and then what's also going to provide that experience for you guys as well. So we do have on our website, we give COVID-19 updates. So there's always updates on our website for our current students, but future students can also go out there and look at information as well.
Definitely. I really appreciate knowing all this information, because I know I haven't been doing a whole bunch of college stuff because, we just finished school, I guess you could say.
Right, yeah.
So I'm new to being a senior and all. But I definitely appreciate all that information about how to get into college, what to look out for before you get to college, different classes to take, especially like how personable MGCCC is. So I really appreciate all of that information. So we're going to kind of transition from our seriousness to a fun little game called Rapid Fire that we like to play.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to give you questions that are kind of like this or that. And I want you to give whatever the first answer is that comes to your mind. Okay.
I'm nervous now, Julia. I'm nervous all of a sudden.
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. It'll probably just be funny anyway. Okay. What is your hidden talent?
Ooh, I would say my hidden talent, I'm really not very talented, honestly, but I would say my hidden talent is talking to people. Like I'm that person, Julia, that if you get stuck beside me on a plane, we're gonna end up talking to each other, and I'm gonna know all about you by the end of the plane ride.
The whole backstory.
A whole backstory. Okay. So I think that I can't draw. I'm not an artist. I can't play an instrument. I'm really not that talented, like in the traditional sense. So I would say that for some reason people feel comfortable talking with me, and so I'm gonna say talking. Is that I don't know.
I would say that's a talent, because sometimes I'm more of the like, don't say anything. Maybe they'll talk to me first kind of person. So I definitely consider that a talent.
Okay.
Grits or oatmeal?
Ooh, grits.
Grits, okay. Relax on the beach or hike up a mountain?
Relax on the beach. I'm sure.
With you on that one, especially living on the coast. iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Facebook or Instagram?
Ooh, I like Instagram a lot. I like looking at all the pictures and stuff. It's quick. It's easy.
Yeah, it's just swipe and go, go. What is one thing you want to learn how to do?
Ooh, I really would I like to cook. I do. I wouldn't say I'm the best cook, but I like to cook. But I would like to learn how to be more of a fancy culinary person and really try to cook different foods. I like to watch all the food shows and different things. So I would love to learn to really expand my talent. Maybe that's my talent. Going to be my talent is to learn how to cook. Yeah.
Okay. Cooking is definitely going to be something that I have to learn how to do too. So I'm with you on that one.
I got the basics, but that's about it.
Ramen noodles and cereal is what we're working on over here. Do you have a favorite Disney character?
My favorite Disney character. I love Disney, all the Disney movies and stuff. Favorite Disney character. I would say, I kind of so I like Cinderella. I've always liked the Cinderella story. I love a good underdog story. And you know what I love about Cinderella is that they've recreated this story hundreds of times, different things, and it's still a great story. It can be modernized or taken back or whatever. So it's a great storyline, and I think everybody likes to pull for an underdog.
Cinderella for the win.
Cinderella for the win.
Okay, who's the funniest person you know?
My sister by far. She's one of those people that if you're having a bad day, you can hang around my sister Katie and you're gonna laugh. That's for sure.
That's a given. Yes. Sweet or salty?
Salty. Love chips and salsa. Can't control myself when I'm around chips and salsa.
Wow.
Can't control it.
Chips and salsa. I would have never guessed. Okay, this is the last one. This is our funny one, I guess you could say. Do you use emojis when you text?
Yes.
And what is your favorite emoji?
I'm usually today is Tuesday, but I kind of had a Monday on a Tuesday. I locked myself out of my office literally first thing this morning. And I got here early. I was I'm going to get so much work done before everybody gets here. So it's the hand over the face. That's what I had to send this morning.
Wow. You already did. I was going to ask you to show us too. You already knew what I was going to do. That's crazy.
Yeah. The hand over the face. But I do love to send emojis. My other one, I wish I had a pair of glasses. My other one is I love the nerd one where it's the glasses. I love that one. So I do that a lot too.
Definitely. I think mine is the laughing, crying one.
Yes, I love it.
Okay, well, I think that's about it. Those were great answers, but I think that's all I have for you today. You've been very informative, not just with MGCCC, but with your answers, your fun, rapid fire answers. So I definitely appreciate that too. And I really hope that this information has helped inform you about the options available at MGCCC for post-secondary education. Be sure to follow Boys and Girls Clubs of the Gulf Coast on Facebook and tune in this Thursday at 1 p.m. for for Elements of a Scholar Athlete with special guest Bryant Lavender. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it so much.